What's up, YouTube? This is James coming back at you with another informative video. I hope you guys are doing well out there on this beautiful Tuesday. I'm doing well myself. We got a problem. Seems to be as usual though. It's always something to have to pray about, if you understand what I'm saying. The newest things to pray about now is these dock workers right here. You understand? If you thought that the price of food was high enough as it is, well, it's finna go up a little bit more. Okay, probably a lot more, because we got these dock workers. Strike shuts down ports in the east, threatening big hit to the U.S. economy. Okay, and the U.S. economy is us. See, what these dock workers are fighting for is what people mostly always fight for, and that's more pay, better pay, money, you see, because they don't feel like they're being treated right. And all of us have felt the same thing, working on these jobs. But the so-called higher-ups like to ignore the ones that, putting the work in, getting it from the mud, boots on the ground, you understand, basically being the heartbeat of America. I remember probably about a couple years ago, me and Joan did a video about the truckers strike. You understand? That ended fairly well. I hope in this particular situation right here, it can end as, fast. But the thing is this: the longer that, it goes, the more longer it's going to take to get things back on track. And from what I understand, it costs like $45 billion a day for these people, these dudes, to be on strike. I think it'll be a lot wiser just to go ahead and give these people, the higher pay that they're asking for. I mean, after all, hey, the food in the stores, and as far as our convenience, it's worth to pay them what they're asking for, as far as I'm concerned, because if you don't, hey, well, we're finna be in some serious trouble, and that's just what it is. But what I want us to do is check out a couple of these video clips, news clips, getting in more depth as to what is actually taking place and what have you, and then we'll complete the commentary. Check this out.
These ports could stand still and the goods in these containers stalled if dock workers walk off the job. From Boston and New York all the way down to New Orleans and Houston, the International Longshoremen Association represents at least 25,000 workers at these ports. They're at an impasse over a new 6-year contract. They want higher wages and less automation. The union boss in recent weeks defiant.
These companies are making billions of dollars. They should take us along.
Port officials preparing for a shutdown at midnight on Monday.
All activity in the Port of New York and New Jersey with regards to containerized cargo and automobile cargo will cease.
The United States Maritime Alliance, representing shippers and ports, blamed the union's, quote, repeated refusal to come to the table and bargain. A strike could cost up to $4.5 billion a day. Everything from canned goods and chocolate, car parts, and electronics move through these ports. Some of the biggest retailers import goods here, like Walmart, Samsung, and Home Depot. George Berry owns a small trucking business and hauls shipping containers at the Port of Virginia. It's actually something that touches every grocery store cart, right, and every family budget, if you really game it out.
100%. We're looking at the possibilities of empty store shelves. We're looking at the possibility of homes stop being built because there's lumber needed, there's steel needed.
The president has the power to break a strike, but right now the White House says he is not considering doing that.
Christine, you mentioned retailers. Will this affect the holiday shopping season?
So retailers have seen this coming, and they have been basically stockpiling their goods for the holiday shopping season. But if they move forward with a strike here, supply chain experts tell us for every day the ports are closed, it can take up to 5 days to catch up, Lester.
All right. Thanks.
We start the top of the hour this morning with a Fox 5 News alert. Thousands of dock workers are on strike, causing ports across the U.S. to close.
Yeah, in total, 36 ports shutting down, including the Port of Baltimore. Melanie Allenwick is there right now live, and she appears to be telling us since this morning that it's been heating up there, and it hasn't been a pleasant sight for many folks, especially the drivers coming in.
That's right. So for some people, I think it might have been a bit of a surprise. However, this has been in the news that it could be happening for a few weeks now. So you can see the picket lines behind me here. And this is the main entrance to the Port of Baltimore, the Dundalk Terminal. And you'll see they're walking around the picket lines in circles. Now, Baltimore police were here earlier reminding the picketers that they cannot block the entrance to the port. The longshoremen walked off the job at 12:01 a.m. There was confusion and anger as picketers initially tried to stop trucks from entering, and it did turn violent.
I come here for 7 years. I pulled trash and the debris out of here for the Port of Baltimore, and the officer told me to come back and go in there and to get out of my way, and they attacked me and broke the windshield and serrated my face. Look at it.
Now, we don't know exactly what happened. The union members said the truck hit one of the picketers as they swarmed around it. We did see an ambulance come to assist, and we know that that gentleman did speak with police officers. Again, we'll let the authorities sort out exactly what happened there. Now, 45 members of the International Longshoremen's Association, 45,000 members. That's a big difference in a number, isn't it? They have all been asking for a 77% pay increase over 6 years and a ban on automation at their ports, a threat to their jobs, they say. Now, most retailers stocked up on goods prior to the strike, but if it lasts more than a few weeks, supply chain experts say it's consumers who are going to feel the direct impact of higher prices and product shortages, especially for things like fresh fruit, coffee, and cars. The U.S. Marine Alliance, which represents the ports, said it offered 50% pay increases and an agreement to keep current limits on automation, in addition to increased contributions to the retirement plans, but apparently that was not acceptable to the union members. We don't know what the next steps are in terms of the negotiations. Now, we do want to let you know that West Coast ports do remain open. They are a different union and working under a different contract, and many supply chain leaders have rerouted some of their goods and supplies. But on the East Coast, it's going to have to be a wait and see situation as to how directly everyone is impacted. I want to let you know that again, we are going to try to get an interview with one of the local union leaders here as soon as we sign off. And if we get anything from their point of view, we'll be sure to bring it to you. All right. Thank you so much, Mel. Certainly a lot going on out there this morning.
Actually something that touches every grocery store cart, right, and every family budget if you really game it out.
100%. We're looking at the possibilities of empty store shelves. We're looking at the possibility of homes stop being built because there's lumber needed, there's steel needed.
The president has the power to break a strike, but right now the White House says he is not considering doing that.
Christine, you mentioned.
That just rang in my mind, in my ears. The president has the power to break the strike, but he's not interested in doing that right now. What that tell you about this president right here? Not that I'm trying to sway y'all votes or anything like that, but the thing is this, hey, this guy, in other words, Biden and the Harris administration is no good for this country. You know, like I said, I'm out of the game far as voting go, but when you got situations like this, man, come on. This is a detriment to us because it always fall on the American people, the consumer. Y'all see, this is who they're talking to. We're the ones that's going to pay the higher prices at the grocery stores and stuff when you go and get what you need. And then on top of that, hey, that's if you can find what you need, because more than likely, the shelves are going to be bare. You know how these people act. You remember back here when the shutdown happened, how people was hoarding toilet paper. You understand what I'm saying? There was no Lysol to be found on the shelves. I mean, it was a disaster. So you can imagine what's going to happen in this situation right here if it continues. I say to President Biden this: give them longshoremen that 77% increase in their pay that they asking for, because it's going to cost us a hell of a whole lot more if you don't. That's if you really care. That's if you really for the American people. We know that you are for those damn migrants. I know that. You are definitely for those migrants. You know, making sure they get like what? $5,000 in food stamps and 15 G's, you know what I mean, a month or something like that. Could be backward, I don't know. But hey, they doing better than a lot of us in our so-called country where we was born and bred. What about that? You see, like I said, I have no dog in the fight. I don't even vote anymore because I already know what the situation is all about. You know. But the thing is this, hey, in situations like this, hey, you gotta call a spade a spade. The Biden and Harris administration is just no good for this country. Like it or not, ain't got nothing to do with, okay, the first female so-called black woman president. Okay? Ain't got nothing to do with that. You better be thinking about your own welfare, your family's welfare, you know, and that's just what it is. That's all I got on this one, people. I want you guys to tell me what you think about this particular situation right here. I'm interested in hearing your thoughts on it in the comment section. Like, share, and subscribe. People, please remember to live your life as though we are being watched. Simply because we are. This is James, and I'm out.